So this week we're going to talk about our stationary frames. We're going to talk a little bit more about our stationary customer. You'll notice that typically that customer is focused a bit more on the look and feel of furniture and a little bit less on the features and benefits than your motion or reclining customer. Typically that's the first thing they will ask you about. With our stationary shopper and our stationary frames, we still want to talk about those features, benefits, and options, but we're going to have to take a little bit different approach, and we'll show you how to do that here in just a minute. So cushions are one of the most important features that we talk about with our customer, especially in our stationary line. So I wanted to go through the segment that we use. You can use a block like this to demonstrate it with your customers, or you can use the actual cushion. This is nice. It gives you a really clean cross section and has labels to remind you if you're ever in a moment where you forget what you're discussing. So this will show your zone 1, which is that softer foam towards the front of your knees. And then it has your higher density foam here. So you can see they're two different colors. It gives you that different density to give you a really even sit. That's zone 2. You'll notice zone 3 is mirror image. This is done so that we have a nice dense core and then mirror image on both sides so you can rotate and flip your cushions for a long lasting wear with the La-Z-Boy cushion structure. So zone 3 is going to be a high resiliency foam. Zone 4 is more for a cushiony sit. So you get support and comfort with our standard Comfort Core cushion. That's going to be your 3-year warranty, and then you do have that upgrade option, which we'll talk about here in a few minutes. I'm going to have Jennifer come over and we're going to demonstrate this. So I'm going to show you guys how we demonstrate that to a customer so that they can really feel it. What I like to do is use the Mackenzie. It has a tight back on it, and so you don't have any of the cushion really interfering with the back and the way that it sits. And I like to flip around the center cushion so you can see the zippers in the front, and that'll come into play when I have Jennifer sit down. So Jennifer, why don't you join me over here on the Mackenzie. First of all, I'm going to have you sit here, and that's going to be your standard cushion. So that's the firm support in the back where your body weight towers, and then you shouldn't feel any stress behind your knees.
Very comfortable.
Perfect. Now we do have that upgrade available if you do want something that's a little bit firmer, and that's going to have your 5-year warranty on it. I want to have you try the center cushion. I flipped it around so that you can really feel the difference in the density of the foam that we're using.
Okay. Oh.
So you can feel that back foam, it's a little bit less resilient. That's the foam that's usually behind your knees, where if we were to put that in the whole cushion, you would just sink right into the frame.
Right, I feel like I'm in a hole.
Yes. And then we have that denser foam in the front where it almost makes your knees feel like they're up. So if you use that all the way through, you wouldn't be very comfortable that way either. So that's really where the science comes in the cushion that La-Z-Boy makes.
Awesome.
Okay, so we've done a very thorough cushion conversation with our customer. You also want to be able to talk about some of the other features and benefits in construction for our stationary line. One of the ways to do that is by using the actual cushion. You can lift that up out of the sofa frame, and we can talk about the spring structure. So we have that 4-sided frame. You can feel that sinuous spring frame along here, so you can have your customer actually touch that. Don't forget to mention the La-Z-Boy brand embossing that's on there. That's going to help keep the cushions in place as people are sitting and moving on the piece. One of the other construction pieces that we want to talk about with our stationary frames that's really important are the padded sides and the padded back of the frame. Being able to talk about how it's not just fabric over a frame is really important for people that move a lot. If they've got an open concept where kids or dogs are rubbing up against the furniture, those extra interior pieces can make a huge difference in the life of a piece of furniture in a customer's home. In addition to that, one of the biggest options that we talk about with stationary customers and stationary frames are your cover options. We have tons of different fabric and tons of different leather options available. Obviously check your cap codes before we get someone committed to something, but being able to customize their look entirely from start to finish is why we do so much custom order. Many of the competition right now are not offering that option, so being able to offer custom order is going to be what seals the deal for many of your stationary shoppers. Okay, so for your digital quiz, the last question is going to be which table group was mentioned in the video, and your answer is going to be Weatherford.